I'm getting feedback now. I'm not seeing anything.
We are the world. We are the we are the one. All right.
Hello.
How you doing?
Do you hear that? What'd you do? Break it?
I might have broke it. All right.
It's irritating as hell.
Well, everybody, we are back. Truly apologize about the breakdown.
At the mercy of technology.
We were at the mercy of old technology. Thank you, technology, for being who you are, and always being reliable. We can always trust you. Always trust you to set us up just a little bit.
There it is. Woo! We
We are
back.
back. So once again, everybody, we truly apologize. We had a technical difficulty. Internet went kapooey. Just had his own moment. But like I said, we're glad to be back and glad to bring you a last bit of our preview here for the AFC. Now we were talking, Jay, about how things are in the AFC East. And just for those who are coming back in, we'll go ahead and give you at least who we had where. Jay, tell them who do you have the rankings in AFC East before we head on.
Patriots, Bills, Dolphins, Jets.
I have it as the Bills, Patriots, Dolphins, and then Jets. I know since we both picked the Jets, they'll probably finish, I don't know, 10-6.
No, I mean,
It's just not meant to be, right, Jay?
well, they've had so many people, like when Jamal Adams left,
Right.
they lost a key part of their defense. And Le'Veon Bell, I want the money. Give me the money. He gets the money and he hates it. So he's going to be gone soon.
He gets the money and then he hates it.
So
this is so true. Hey, it's crazy because he was upset because Jamal Adams he said he was the main person recruiting him. How do you feel about that? Jamal Adams was the main person recruiting him in there. He gets in there and then he's gone. So
I mean, yeah, but it makes you wonder. Yeah, once again, Adam Gase really has had a track record of doing absolutely nothing as a head coach.
he's been alright. That's all you can really. He's one of those coaches you can't say, oh man, he's been great or he's been horrible. He's just been alright.
Like I would even try to compare him to Romeo Cornell, but I mean that's not even fair to Romeo.
Yeah, Romeo doesn't deserve that type of treatment.
Maybe Josh McDaniels. He's a good coordinator.
Yes.
But not a good head coach.
I'm going to agree with that. I'm sorry, Jets fans. I know that's not something you want to hear, but hopefully the organization will make a smart move and say, hey, maybe this just isn't for him. But we'll see in due time. All right, let's head to the AFC South. And just for those who are joining us, the first part of our podcast today got a little bit hijacked by technology. So this evening we're going to broadcast both.
Back to back.
We're going to try to do it together, splice it together. If not, it'll be back to back. You'll be able to catch it tonight at 7.
Please and thank you.
In fully operational motation. I made that up.
Motation?
I don't even know what that means, Jay. I just made that up.
What would Selena say about that?
Oh, my God, Jay. I'm still hurt.
That's great.
Yes, I'm still
I love
hurt.
it.
I don't know.
All right, anyways.
I thought she loved me. Anyway, let's get to this one. AFC South. Now, this division to me, Jay, is very intriguing because the last couple of years have been all Texans, in my opinion. I mean, they've pretty much won the division, what 3 out of 4 years or something in that range. I mean, they've been the cream of the crop, even though it's been ugly.
Right, I agree. And for me, even the Jaguars themselves, even though they've traded away key parts, Jalen Ramsey is just like he's good, but the problem is he's so good that he knows it.
He knows he's good.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
he knows
can be
he's
an
good.
asshat about it. And I'm glad they got rid of him, but any one of these teams could finish first.
And I agree with that. So, Jay, give us your feel on this one. Where does the AFC South go?
Now, the only reason I went this way is because of the way we've been seeing a lot of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So I went Titans, Colts, Texans, Jaguars. And the reason I put the Texans low, Deshaun Watson is top 10 at quarterback.
Right.
I'm not going to take anything away from him. But that defense has been their weakness, and they have not been able to stay healthy on that side of the ball or the other side. And I just feel that more injuries is going to play effect on their record than their actual performance.
See, that's crazy because, all right, so I think for me, I look at this division in one way, and I just feel like that. Well, I can pretty much feel what you feel, Jay. I'm not even going to sit there and lie to you. It can go to anybody.
No, shit, I said mine wrong. I picked the Colts.
What did you say you picked?
I picked the Titans is what I said. I picked the Colts for first, Titans second.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay. Now, I actually had I had the vice versa. So I had the Titans first, Colts second, Texans third, Jaguars fourth. But even for me, it's like exactly what Jay said. I feel like it could go either way. Like it really could go either way. I don't. Man, it's tough.
Well, the only reason I picked the Colts for first is because the Colts they got Phillip Rivers and he can sling the ball. He's done great with that offense that they had out in Los Angeles.
If he protects the football, they win this division. I mean that's just how I see it.
And they got a stud defense.
They got a good defense. They got the best offensive line and in that division, maybe in the league.
I agree.
Led by Quentin Nelson, and
he's never had an offensive line like this.
Exactly. So I look at that and say, well, maybe he goes off this year. But he's one of those guys. He's like a weird Brett Favre. Like you don't hear it like
from a sidearm.
Yeah,
angle.
It's like because Brett's a gunslinger and Philip's a gunslinger. But Philip doesn't get that praise that Brett Favre gets. And maybe numbers wise, he's obviously a little bit more accurate.
Exactly. Well, not a little bit more accurate. It's that Favre took so many chances, but when they paid off in the big games.
Exactly.
And for Phillip, he's the one quarterback that has yet to really make it into a Super Bowl from the 2004 class that would solidify that class as arguably the best quarterback draft ever.
That's the one thing. That class is missing. And he's only gotten to the AFC Championship game. LD, that's what LD hurt game, and he wore his helmet the rest of the game when he was on the sideline, and everybody was like, it's kind of weird. He's just sitting out there with the helmet on, and he could have been just hurt because he couldn't. He was hurt when I think he was just so hurt that he couldn't get back into the game.
Yep.
But I look at it and say to myself that this is obviously he's going towards the end of his career, but can he make that step, Jay? Can he make that step? And get this Colts team to a Super Bowl, or take that next step, and
if he takes a break from making kids, I think he'll have all the stamina in the world.
Yeah, good luck. My man.
He got 9?
My man is a stud, like legitly. I mean, he's out there doing his thing. So they'll see that happening. But that division, I'm going with the Titans only because I feel like the Texans receiving core, in my opinion, doesn't exist after Hopkins is gone because you got Fuller, he's always hurt. You got Randall Cobb, he's always hurt. So who do you really have?
Didn't they draft a really good rookie?
So telling. I mean, it's just It's been so long, and I'll be honest with you. I had to go back and look at that myself. But even then, it's a really good rookie. But you get your two vets. If they stay healthy, though, if Fuller is healthy and Cobb is healthy, then that's a huge if. Then he might be all right. And I'm going to give Deshaun credit where his credit is due. Deshaun's a very good quarterback. But I don't know if I see him being a Texan too much longer if Bill O'Brien's still heading the ship. I mean, David
he trades away everything. I mean, I love the bringing in Laramie Tunstall. They had to do that to shore up the line. He is easily top 3 tackle in the league.
Yeah.
And what they gave up, but the Hopkins thing was just dumb as hell.
I mean, I know that they may be some situation where they didn't get along, but man, though, like, come on. Like this is Hopkins, and Hopkins didn't have his greatest year last year, but maybe that's all a part of it. Who knows? But for me, I just don't see that Texans team winning that division this year. That's a Colts. It's more likely going to be Colts or either Titans. Now the Jaguars have like 500 head coaches on their team. McAdoo used to be a head coach. Jay Gruden used to be a head coach, and then they have Matt Marone. So who knows? Maybe all that.
Just imagine though if Minshew can learn Jay Gruden's offense.
then he's going to be stellar. Because when Gruden was in Cincinnati, and we seen what he can do as an offensive coordinator. He's a great offensive coordinator.
Yep.
We can't take that from him. But some people are just not great head coaches.
He made Andy Dalton look like a stud.
He did. So we'll see. I like the Titans' chances. I never thought I'd say Ryan Tannehill's the best quarterback in this division, but I think he
I really do.
I think he might be. Pro Bowler last year, and then you got that stud behind you. I mean, hey, and I'm waiting to see what Brown does this year.
Yep.
So we'll see. Now let's swing over to the AFC West. Now this is the defending champions. This is the this division is interesting as well, Jay, because for me, I look at a team like Denver, and they could surprise people. They're my sleeper. They're my sleeper in the AFC.
I agree 100% with you. I really do on that one. But the Raiders is another one. The fuck show of Gruden continues. But it's the first year of being in Las Vegas.
Right.
They have to make the playoffs, period. It's unacceptable to anything else less.
Yeah, I mean, they exactly. And now that they added an extra team, if you go back and look at those lower tier teams, they're easily the 6th or 7th best team in the AFC.
Right.
Easily. But will Gruden bring that all together? I think that's a huge factor when you look at that AFC West. Obviously, Andy Reid is Andy Reid, and their defense is the same. I'm still a little bit weary that they had a great playoff run last year. They bring Chris Jones back. They still got the Honey Badger.
They lost Fuller.
Fuller is going to be huge. I mean, Washington got them a nice pickup in Fuller. They needed that. They needed that solid corner.
They got him back.
Yeah, they got him back.
Great. By the way, prayers to Ron Rivera.
Yeah, I mean and we'll
get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that because that's a tough one to swallow right there. But I look at it and say to myself, like, this Kansas City team, it's just going to be hard to beat them.
But they added another offensive weapon. They kept all the weapons they had.
Right.
I don't see them taking any steps back. They might, not win as many games.
Right.
But Pat Mahomes needs to be on point like he has been, avoid injuries like he has, and I see another MVP season.
Yeah, the sky's the limit on that.
Absolutely.
The sky's the limit on that. So, Jay, give us your AFC West predictions, brother.
Chiefs, Raiders, Broncos, Chargers. And the Chargers are right now, they got great defensive pieces. I mean, literally, their secondary is one of the best in the league when healthy.
Agreed.
So, but that offensive, they got way too many questions. Keenan Allen, I remember he tagged the wrong wide receiver in his hate tweet to Chris Godwin. And he tagged Chris Goodwin in it.
Yeah.
And that was great. But, he was saying, "Oh no, I'm better, and I do this." But you're never on the damn field, bro.
Right. I mean, you can talk all day, but you ain't never on the field, bro. Well, like, what's the deal? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I mean, and Jay, this is the only division that me and you agree in completely, and that the Chiefs 1, Raiders 2, Broncos 3, Chargers 4. The Chiefs for me, hands down, this is their division. I mean, unless something happens to Mahomes, in which we don't want to see happen because he's phenomenal to watch. That's the only way they lose this division.
Exactly.
The Raiders have that it factor where I feel like they can definitely win. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like they can definitely win, but I just don't know how that plays out.
I like Matt Mayock, but I just don't like some of the decisions that they've made because like their first year, when these two together, their second round picks and even some of their first round picks are just really questionable. I love Dave Arnett.
Yeah, and then they got Max Crosby. They got him like in the 4th round the year before last year.
They got him in the 4th round. I think the first 2 rounds they f everything up.
Right.
Because they drafted Garyon Conley. He's no longer there.
Sounds like a team I know.
But P.J. Hall was another one, a great defensive tackle. He come in like 10 pounds overweight. They traded him.
Yeah, they traded him.
So,
that was quick. It was
and it was 1 year they had him. They didn't even get a chance to see. And, maybe they have this no-nonsense policy. That's great.
Right.
But if you're going to waste those picks on nothing, trade them for something.
I got to agree with that. I mean, you might as well do that. There's no need to have him lingering around. If you need to get rid of him, get rid of him. But, I mean,
if you can't make Garyon Conley work and you bring in Damon Arnett, who I think he was a good cornerback, but he was not a first-rounder. I don't even think Damon Arnett was a second-round quarterback.
Yeah, it was such a stretch, man.
Exactly.
I remember on draft night when we were watching and together,
we're like, what
separately, watching together separately, but we're watching it together and like
both sent text, what the hell?
Like at the same time, like what's going on? What is this? So, very wild decision, but that's Raiders. That's what we expect from the Raiders. I look at the Broncos now, Jay. I said it, but they're my sleeper, and I only say this because I think Vic Fangio will get that defense where they need to be.
They got Chubb.
They got Miller. And I think that they'll find a way to continue to just get better on defense.
The fact that they gave me Shaq Barrett. Thank you, Al.
Yeah, but that young receiving core. Now it's young. They picked up a lot of draft picks, but I like the mindset behind it. The guys they got are speedsters, and Drew Lock likes to sling it. And
he was decent at it. I mean, he had, I believe, 12 interceptions.
Right.
Which isn't terrible.
No, not at all.
But, that's where I can flip back to Minshew. Minshew only had 6.
Right. And so, and that's, people gave Minshew a little bit of
But you go back and look on the other side. Minshew had 10 fumbles lost.
That's true.
Where Locke only had 2.
Yeah, and then Locke, they were 3-1 at those last 4 games.
And he got the it factor.
Yeah, and if you watched him, I think his teammates embraced him.
Yep.
That moment when he's on the sideline and he's rapping or whatever song he was rapping to something, and I just felt at that moment that like his teammates embraced him as a person, like they were getting to see the Drew Lock that the rest of the team is seeing, and I think that people truly get behind him. I think that if they can find a way and Fangio doesn't screw this thing up, man, like. I think they can sneak into the playoffs for sure. I don't know if they're going to win the division or nothing like that. I can see them being a 6 or 7 seed now that there are 7 seeds in the playoffs.
Yeah, it gets more interesting after.
Yeah. So, and then speaking of that, well, I guess now that we've got all our divisions straight, Jay, your AFC predictions. Break it down for us. Who do you got 1 to 7?
Okay, I got Chiefs 1, Ravens 2, Patriots 3. Colts 4, Raiders 5, Titans. I got the damn. Sorry, Bills 5.
That's right. He got the other one.
The one where you.
I sent Jay.
He sent me a fucked up.
I sent him the graphic, and I sent him one that had the Raiders on there twice.
Titans at 6, Raiders at 7.
He was like, "Who is this?" It's like the Raiders. How did they make the playoffs twice? Whoops. Wrong one, buddy. Wrong one.
That one's where they played in L.A.
Yeah, exactly. So they're the L.A./Oakland/Vegas Raiders. That's the other team.
That's how a mouthful.
That's how they got in there. But I like the way you have this set up because even though I went a little different, we all have the same teams in the playoffs.
That's awesome.
And I definitely can see the way you have it set up. Where you have Ravens 2. That's where I mean, we're different in some other spots too because you got the Patriots obviously winning the division, but I had the Titans being number 2.
Number 2.
I have a feeling that I just like Mike Vrabel as a coach. And I think that he's going to find a way to bring the best out of them. Even now that they got their running back paid, they got their quarterback paid. I think they're going to find a way.
They got some questions still in that secondary, and their great pass rusher. He hasn't even showed up yet.
Yeah, Vic Beasley. That is a huge question mark unless they can find Clowney, since he's still a free agent out there with 3 weeks to go. Which wants way too much money.
I want the state of Texas.
How has he not been signed? I mean, I understand it.
They just want way too.
He wants way too much, man. He doesn't. It's almost like, does he want to play?
And I promise you, either today or tomorrow, Yannick, or whatever the hell his name is, pass rusher from the Jaguars, will be traded for a second-round pick.
Well, they've been saying that it's going to happen for a while.
Well, I know, but I'd say it's coming down.
And they denied it the other day. They tried to say the other day that there's no truth to the rumors and all that stuff. But this guy's been on the block for like a year,
and he hasn't signed his franchise tender.
Exactly. So for me, I got Chiefs, Titans, the Ravens at 3. Ravens fans are going to beat me for this, but this goes back to where me and Jay said we think it's going to be a dogfight in that division. Those 3 teams are going to really battle. Even though I still think it's a 2-team race. The Browns are not going to be any slouches in that division. So I got the Ravens taking one step back. Now that doesn't mean the Ravens can't make a run. That means nothing. And then the Bills at 4. Even though I think the Bills could be higher, but I'm going to leave them at 4. Patriots at 5. Raiders at 6. Colts at 7. So that'll be a Titan-Colts matchup, a Ravens-Raiders matchup, and then a Bills-Patriots matchup.
Next week we'll give you our NFC ones, and then possibly our breakdown of who we see going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And that's what I said I like about it, because I feel like it's going to be fun. It's just been so fun so far doing this. I like the NFC's interesting because I think the NFC is going to be tougher. The AFC to me is a little bit easier. That NFC is tough. I don't know which way I'm going on that. Like, I have to really take my time to really figure out how that's going to go down.
I'm trying to figure out how the Buccaneers have the best group of tight ends in the league and the one offensive coach that doesn't use tight ends hardly at all.
Right. And you got 2 studs at the tight end position.
We got a potential Hall of Famer in Gronk. We got Cameron Brate and O.J. Howard.
You got 3 guys. I'm surprised they never traded them. I thought that at least one was going to go bye-bye.
Well, see, Brate's about ready to turn 30, but he's got the biggest contract of any of them. Mm-hmm. Gronk's just there because, for the beers and the broads.
I think you were going to say the bros and the hoes. I was like, that's hilarious.
And then, O.J. Howard's the only one with capital, but what are we going to get? A 3rd or a 4th round pick for the 19th overall pick of 2017?
I can understand that.
That's asinine.
Yeah, so NFC's coming to you next week. That's going to be a very fun one. It's going to be tough. It really is going to be tough. And then, so when we bring that one to you, be ready for that.
So many variables now.
The
Vikings look like the team to beat.
And NFC, I'm not going to lie to you. If I had to tell you, if I was picking today, I'd pick the Vikings. I'm going to go back and dig a little bit, but it's between Green Bay and it's between the Vikings in that division. I mean, it's just the Packers all depend on how their receiving core and how they translate, or how they, maneuver from one offense to another.
But do we get to see a resurgence of the Rams? Yeah.
I think we're going into it, but I think the Cardinals are going to turn a couple heads there. I don't think they're going to win the division. There's something about that Rams team that is just not sticking well with me. I don't know what it is,
Jay. It's the fact that they have premium players at every position and they don't play up to their standard.
Maybe, you know what, Jay? That might just be it, sir. It might just be it. Before we get out of this bad boy today, we do got to, Jay mentioned it a little while ago, but we got to talk a little bit about Coach Rivera. Ron Rivera yesterday was diagnosed with lymph node cancer. I want to make sure I'm saying that correctly. And our thoughts and prayers go out to Coach Ron Rivera, man. We haven't even had an opportunity yet because of everything going on with COVID to truly get a chance to, have our conversations like we've had with Gruden and Callahan with the past. And, once this thing clears up a little bit, hopefully we'll get that chance to have those conversations.
But, he did, a self-check on himself and felt something was off. Went to his doctor, and they found it very early, so, his chances of recovery are very, very good.
Yeah.
So, biggest thing, you're not feeling right, go to the damn doctor.
Figure it out. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things.
I'm looking at you, too.
Yeah, and me and Jay talked about that, and it's something that, and I've been sitting here working. I'm proud of myself because I lost a little weight. I'm trying to get a little bit better, trying to make this I almost said something that's going to sound terrible. So I'm going to hold on. I'm going to tell you what I was about to say after the show.
Okay, that's fine.
But because you was going to get me for you. Like, Darrell, be careful how you say certain things because it sounds terrible. So I'll wait and tell you what I was going to say after the show.
The thing that we know, everybody knows I've had this really great checkered health history. Getting ready to take my oldest off to college. If I wouldn't have done the things and took care of myself, which I need to get better at, wouldn't be able to be here to do that.
Right.
And he got 3 beautiful kids that are getting ready to start on their next journey.
All right, and so
high school.
Yeah, man. So like and that's just health. Your health is important, y'all. So just really think about that thing. I've had a revelation over the last couple of weeks, and I've got to get better so I can be here for my babies, and that's just how I feel about that. And like I said, I take that note from Jay. Jay's done everything in his life to be able to fight to get to where he is, and I want to, I got to be here. So I got to do whatever I can to, in my power.
So pretty.
I think I was cute. I think I was cute. But yeah, Coach Rivera, man, our prayers go out to you,
Yes,
brother.
Sir.
He's a fighter. He says he's going to still coach during this time, and like I said, our prayers we're sending them.
I may not be a fan of the Washington football team, but yeah, I've been through that battle, man. And prayers and props to you for doing it.
Exactly. Now, everybody, once again, thank y'all all for tuning in to episode, 165? But the 262 here on the Legacy Maker Sports Network, our AFC Prediction Edition. Next week, we'll come back with episode 263, and that will be our NFC predictions. And also, we will give you our Super Bowl predictions as well. So I hope you all are ready for that. Foosball. Also, if you get an opportunity, make sure you check us out on our platforms, Facebook and YouTube. You can hit us up on Legacy Maker Sports Network, on Instagram at Legacy Maker Sports,
Twitter,
Instagram, and we're all over. We're on LinkedIn. Make sure you hit us up on LinkedIn. So just
got a couple new things. We got our great Becca Cottingham with doing her Monster Minutes.
Amazing.
With NASCAR being the main thing that was going on for the longest time. She'd been just busting her hump getting that covered. Brought in a wonderful guy to write hockey. Check out his articles, Victor Herrera.
Yeah.
And then Joe Dillard up there.
Oh, man. I mean,
Commonwealth Sports.
Commonwealth Sports Talk.
Him and Lamont doing some work.
They've done a phenomenal job so far.
And if I'm not wrong, I think Ty might be working on
Ty. We talked to Ty, man, and then we got something cooking under.
If you don't watch Ty, I'm gonna come break your kneecaps. That's all I'm saying.
So yeah, Ty's got some stuff. We got a lot of great things coming out of the network, y'all. So just be prepped. I mean, we're gonna keep pushing no matter what going on through the COVID. We want to let you guys know that we're here for you.
Appreciate the support has been overwhelming. So thank you all, and stay healthy, and God bless.
Yeah, y'all take care of yourselves. And until next time, we will see y'all next week for our NFC predictions and our Super Bowl predictions. I'm Darrell. I did almost say it.
The way you work, it could be.
All right, y'all. Until next time. That's great. That's hilarious. Oh, boy.